Happy Wednesday. Sorry it's a little late. I'm excited though. I finally get to share with you guys all about my weekend in Arizona for the Choreography Pros Dance Convention. So here I am, and I actually am supposed to be having Kayla join. She is my intern, you guys. If you've noticed any improvements on Instagram, that is because Kayla has taken over and added her touch and made my page look so much better. I'm just not that into it, and I appreciate everything that she's doing. She's actually from Tempe. Well, not even from Tempe. She's actually from Seattle and lives in Tempe. She's in school at ASU. If I'm not mistaken, Kayla, join me at any time and fix me before I say something wrong. But it was amazing because I got a chance to meet her in person and we hung out all weekend and got some work done. And so we're excited. She's going to do this recap with me. So, Kayla, feel free to join. I see everybody joining. I'm so excited. So, I hope you have something to drink. I'm going to partake in a little bit of rosé. But I just want to share with you guys this experience because it was really, really cool. So, what else we got going on? There's so much to talk about, you guys, in general outside of this. So, next week's cheer chat's going to be like catching up on a bunch of stuff because, traveling 2 weekends in a row, it's I'm behind. I know there's auditions happening this week, last week. There's so much to catch up on in the NBA space. So, bear with me. I mean, NFL is kind of kicking off tomorrow. Like, what's going on? Too much, right? Hey, Jasmine. Hey, Kayla Shabri. What's up? Okay, so people are in the building that we're actually at I'm sorry, Choreography Pros. If I do that, that's just because I can't even say anything because I didn't have any yet. But Choreography Pros, this was like back-to-back weekends of travel, so bear with me. But let's just get into it. Kayla will join when she can join. It was nice meeting you too. You are on my notes, girl. I'll be talking about you. So let's just get into it. Kayla can jump in. I'm going to take a sip, let people join, but it's so nice to see everybody. I look forward to this every week, not just so I can drink rosé, but just kind of like that woosah moment of coming down from the week and knowing that you only have a little bit to go. Hey, Kim. So I'm on YouTube as well. Let's go. Let's get into it. So, Choreography Pros has been on my little radar for quite some time. And I just want to take some time to thank Miss V, who is the founder and CEO, for allowing me to come in a vendor capacity and just see the magic in person. And so we had a long chat, and she was just so gracious and inviting. And so um, the family vibe there, you guys, is so real. You're going to hear a little bit about each choreographer. Clearly, there's an Arizona connection. A lot of these people that are part of the Choreography Pro staff have a connection to either the Phoenix Suns or the Phoenix Mercury, which is a WNBA team, like all of the entertainment teams. But the one thing I appreciate the most was just how gracious, and she's just the queen bee, right? Well, queen bee, I should say. Um, she's mentored and coached and helped develop a lot of the people who were in attendance at the conference, giving people the opportunity to choreograph and assist. And so we had some young ones there, and all the way up to just her colleagues that she's been in the space with for such a long time. It was actually the 10-year anniversary of Choreography Pros. They put together a beautiful tribute video for her. Had me crying, okay, and I'm meeting everybody for the first time, but it was just from the gate. I'll walk you through it. The first night on Friday, they had, and I'll try to make sure I'm not missing um, anybody's comments here. But the first night we had a welcome reception, and this is like before you're stressed out, you're learning a bunch of routines, like you're just there to mix and mingle with the the choreographers and all the different dancers that are there. And so I thought that that was a really nice touch because everybody's a little bit more at ease. The Detroit Pistons dancers, they started doing like the Detroit hustle, I guess is what it's called. There were like four different variations. It was fun. It felt like going to like a cookout vibe of like a family reunion, and you've been invited and you get to hang out with everybody and get to know everybody. It was just very, very welcoming. And I really appreciated that. Um, Cisco walked into the room, like from Cisco Choreography. I'm sure you guys follow him on Instagram. And it's just like, I was a little starstruck, but by the end of the weekend, everybody just kind of was vibing with each other and it was just really chill. But it was set off with just the reception. I thought that that was a nice way to put names to faces and get to know everybody. So we chatted, we drank, we ate, and kind of like had a nice toned down night before all the hard work began. So I have a lot of notes, so just bear with me. But this convention has like the structure of it is 27 routines total that these dancers learned over the 2 days. So they were learning 4 routines. Is that right? Yeah, 4 classes each day. Um, Luckily, they did the showcase right after because Lord knows, I mean, my brain would have exploded. But it was these were pretty complex routines. They're taught, I think, with enough time to go through the routines. But you're performing it right after in the showcase. But learning 4 routines in one day is definitely challenging. I commend every single dancer that was there. Just so y'all know who was there, we had a few colleges and from the area. I'm so sorry if I'm leaving anybody out, but ASU, the Florida Gators, these tall, gorgeous. They do have shorties on the squad. I had to ask their coach, but University of Florida. I hope that's right. Florida Gators. I'll just say the mascot, Florida Gators. You also had Ottawa. I believe that's in Arizona. Their dance team. Um, the Detroit Pistons dancers, like I mentioned, and the Denver Nuggets dancers, and lots and lots and lots of individuals, which I thought was great. And we also had the Rock Squad from Little Rock, Arkansas. It's like an independent dance team that they formed because there's just a lack of sports, professional sports in their area. And so I was talking with the coach. I'm so sorry I don't have your name down, but she formed this team, and it was a great opportunity for her dancers to learn a bunch of routines, and they perform all throughout Little Rock. And I just thought that was awesome that they were there as well. Um, I thought it was cool that the Nuggets actually sent some representatives to Pro Action as well as Choreography Pros. But again, you're getting 27 routines from some amazing choreographers, like just with a fresh, like take on the variety of the styles and the just seeing different choreographers. I thought was really, really cool. So um, I'll try to share a little bit in a way that you can kind of consume because there were 20 choreographers total there. A little bit about each one of them and the things that I appreciated. I'm trying to repost. I have so much video content, and I'm going to try to. What isn't going to be me? It's probably going to be Kayla, but just trying to like put together either a reel or just like some sort of recap video so you can see, a little bit more bits and pieces of the choreography because it was so dope. Okay, so that's that. And then I'll, similar to the last recap, I'll probably try to shout out the choreographers that I liked, the routines that I enjoyed, and the dancers. So I'm going to focus on pro, even though there were a lot of individual dancers that were killing it, like a lot of the assistants. Jasmine from Next Level Prep was there. Kayla Chabri was there. They were assisting. So I mean, there was just a lot of talent in the talented dancers in the room, and I wish I could just shout everybody out, and I kind of probably will, but I'm focusing on pro for the most part. Um, but it was just really inspiring to see everybody kind of bond together through the process, and because it's a little bit more intimate setting in that way. So like by the time the routines were over at the end, people are like congratulating each other and high-fiving. I just thought the vibe was really, really cool. And I just felt lucky to be there. So without further ado, let me make sure I didn't forget anything already. Let's get into it. I want to go through these choreographers because um, some of them were new to me. And so I want to kind of share it with you. You can go to the Choreography Pros website if you want to read up more on the choreographers. But just to give you a little bit more about Miss V, she, founded, like I said, Choreography Pros 10 years ago in 2012. She was a part of the inaugural WNBA Phoenix Mercury hip hop squad. And so, like, I don't want to say like back in the day, but they were really, really popular. They were always on ESPN. A lot of like the hip hop teams in the NBA were kind of like, I don't know, around that time, we're trying to model some of the style of the performances and how they had the team, like the audience really, really hyped. So she danced with them for 7 seasons, and she was a co-choreographer for 10 seasons. So she has a wealth of experience. Everybody knows and loves her. I mean, like I said, I felt really lucky to finally meet her. She has a ton of choreography credits throughout the NBA and WNBA as well. And so, yeah, she did a couple routines. And again, it's just like she knows. I think she has a really, really good sense for like what will get the crowd involved and what the crowd will appreciate. And so she picked a palm routine that was probably one of my favorites. It was kind of to Michael Jackson, got me working day and night. Super fun. And I think I gravitate not just towards oldies, but just like routines that are classic that you can always pull out and everybody will have a good time and enjoy it. So um, she, like I said, is a queen bee. She also did a hip hop routine. And it was funny because she was saying that she tries to leave room for transitions and formation changes. But this routine was so dang on action packed that man, like you couldn't fit anything in, but it was so entertaining. So again, just like fresh takes on choreography. I think it's nice to just see something different. And so Miss V is she's doing the damn thing. We also had Natalie. I'm gonna try not to jack up people's last names, but Natalie Miramontes. I'm gonna just hope that's right. She is a Detroit Pistons dancers director. I think she's also over Detroit Minis. That's their little kids dance team. She's repping the Bay Area. I don't know. I kind of had a feeling she wasn't from Detroit, but I, didn't want to like assume. But just learning a little bit more about her. She had 6 seasons in the NBA as a dancer and choreographer and captain. So a lot of experience. She's choreographed and performed with different artists. There's Kayla. So anyway, she did a hip hop routine and also a Latin routine. And again, as I can, I will post things in stories so you can kind of feel the vibe. But I'll just say, like, her Detroit Pistons dancers were amazing. I'll get into like the teams later, but these routines were really, like I said, just really, really action packed. I did not envy the dancers at all in learning all this choreography. It was pretty complex, but just so fun. Really liked her choreography a bunch. And Kayla, feel free to join in. She did. And I'm sorry, in YouTube land, I hope that you can hear my girl. We'll pause for the cause because Instagram takes forever unless I did it wrong. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I had, just
Hi,
kind of kicked it off. This is Kayla, everybody, my intern who has been like a godsend, helping me get my life together. So Kayla, I kind of kicked it off just kind of talking about the overall structure of the convention, how many routines there were, how many choreographers. What was your kind of like vibe when you first got there? Because you actually have a bit of a connection to some of these people, right? I mean, why don't you give us the whole Arizona Connect and talk about, just what your thoughts were in going?
For sure. So it was really fun. First of all, I had the best time. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Okay. I think that, well, first of all, yes, there is a connection between a lot of the choreographers that were there. The Phoenix Suns hip hop team, which was the Solar Squad before. Now it's a combined team, but before it was the Solar Squad.
Oh no. It says you're unable to join. You know what, Instagram? This even happens to famous people on Instagram when you see them go live with somebody. Something ends up happening. Like it just doesn't work when you join in with somebody. So we're trying to get her back, but don't be ratchet, Instagram. We'll see if this works again. Sorry about that, guys.
We're back.
Yeah, I was just complaining about Instagram being unacceptable and it never working right. So you're frozen on my end, but I hope everybody's able to see you. I can hear you fine though.
Oh, good. Okay, well, I'll pick up where I left off, I guess. Uh-huh. So the Solar Squad, as well as the Phoenix Mercury, which is our WNBA team, they have a hip hop squad too. And a lot of the choreographers that were there have a history on that team. So Miss V, who owns the company, Vicky, she was on the inaugural season of the WNBA team, the Phoenix Mercury, and then met a lot of the dancers that were on there, and they've all stayed connected since and kind of grown this little family, which is so cute.
It is definitely a family vibe for sure. Like I was saying, it was like kind of like the vibe of getting invited to the family cookout and, just being included from the gate, like your family. I don't know. It was very, very apparent. Well, I went through Miss V's choreo. I really liked her Michael Jackson mix. I thought it was so fun, her palm routine, and then just Natalie. So I'm kind of going in some not random order, but talked about Natalie and Miss V's routines. But Cisco, like you were a witness to me completely, having a groupie moment when Cisco walked into the into the reception. But obviously people, if you don't know Cisco, then I don't know where you've been, but he's a professional choreographer. He's done work with NBA, NFL, and a very, 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 very popular heels choreographer in the LA area. He does cool videography, I should say. He was even doing that at the convention as well. He's the owner of Per Movement and the dance company based in LA, like I said. And he just finished like an international tour in Europe. Kayla, I can't even tell if you're there or not. So
I'm here.
Oh, good. Okay. I hope people can see you. All I see is a frozen face, but we'll work with it. But he's got credits galore with celebrities: J Lo, Lil Wayne, Pitbull, Sweetie. I mean, it goes on and on and on. I remember he did something with Dancing with the Stars, so I was a little starstruck. But how fun was he? He was just like, I mean, you quickly, yeah, right. Like you quickly got over the fact that he's kind of on celebrity status. Just obviously full respect, but it was just like the intimidation just went like out the window. He was so sweet and approachable and all of the things. What did you think?
Yeah, he was really warm and welcoming. So I really appreciated that. And his choreography was like insane. So much fun. I had his fancy hip hop routine as one of my like top faves for sure. I loved it.
Because it was a mix with like Iggy Azalea and the Drake's Fancy song. The music choice again throughout this whole convention I thought was just again refreshing. It was current, on point. The mixes were good. Like you got a Mariah Carey mix that went in with obviously what's her name, Lotto's little fantasy mix song that I can't remember. Big D Energy, that song. But I just thought it was a good mix of like throwback plus something current and just refreshing, right? And I didn't know he could get down with hip hop like that. I think I've known that from some of his heels routines, that he'll surprise you and come out with like, a heels routine to a hip hop song. But I'm just giving shout outs because like I wrote down names occasionally when I could think of it. But Julia, I was living vicariously through you. Julia is a Denver Nuggets dancer. She was in Cisco's class, and she was also like me, just very like, oh my gosh, I've been following him for years. And she was getting her life in that class. I was just kind of like, that would have been me if I could still dance. And I hope you had as much fun as I did watching you. So we also had Chuck there, you guys. So Chuck he's been on the podcast before in the Before I Let Go episode. He recently choreographed in the NFL for the Carolina Panthers. I had posted that because his choreography for hip hop is it's just next level to me. It's just very fresh. He's done work for the Brooklyn Nets, Chicago Bulls, Detroit Pistons, Atlanta Hawks, the Wizards dancers. He even pulled Jasmine in to assist with his teaching for the weekend. So he did a Sierra mix to Jump. I feel like everybody's going to be dancing to Jump, right? Like it's just that song.
It
is. And then a hip hop routine to Tambourine, which is one of my favorites. That's like another classic to me. But his choreography, I just love walking around and kind of watching how people teach and just the kind of the coaching that they give to kind of deliver what they're looking for. But yeah, the funniest part though, for Tambourine, was it Tambourine? Tambourine, and a lot of these choreographers had really intense choreography, super fast, super detailed. And it was just fast. There's no denying it. But he was just like, slow down. It's not that fast. Like, and I'm just thinking, yes, it is that fast. But I get what he's trying to say, and just like breathing in the moment and kind of not rushing the moves because you're thinking so hard. Kayla, what did you think? Like, I felt like in terms of the learning environment and like the pressure and the stress, I didn't feel like the stress in the room as people were trying to learn. Like it was a lot and they were tired and they were pushing. But what did you think?
Yeah, no, I didn't think there was very much stress necessarily. All the coaches had their own way of teaching, or I should say choreographers had their own style of teaching. Mm-hmm. So they're like a little bit more like, all right, let's get it than others. But I did appreciate the balance, I think, was like nice to see how everyone was doing their own thing. And there wasn't, even the people that were like a little bit more like tough on them, it was like tough love. It wasn't like, you're going to be a bad dancer if you can't get this.
Right. And go ahead. Sorry.
I really enjoyed it for sure.
Well, I get so excited. And I'm like, that's what I totally do too much. But I forgot to mention it just in terms of like how many individual dancers there were, that I thought this convention was great that it had people at different levels. I mean, there were people who had never um, been to a dance convention before. There was a woman that we met that, was really just training for auditions. And Miss V made a really good point that if you can learn 4 routines in one day, there isn't an audition that you couldn't take on. You know what I mean? Because you're not going to learn that much choreography in one audition, like for one day of an audition, I'll put it that way. And so just watching everybody push through at the various levels that they were at was really inspiring. I mean, I had called out, hold on, because I wrote her name down. Brandy Unique Mims. She's a professional deaf dancer and choreographer. And I just thought you were so inspirational. I know she was in here at one point, but the fact that some of the choreographers, um, I think it was Joya that I noticed, and I'll get to her soon, but um, she was able to take a moment aside for Brandy and just kind of like say the count so that she was able to, obviously when you're teaching, you're not facing the dancers, right? But it was just so inspirational watching her learn all those routines and having like no intimidation around kind of asking for that time with the choreographers. I thought they were very approachable and coaching and all of the things. So it was just something that I wanted to call out. Everybody pushed, and you had, like I said, some of the assistants that were not babies, but really young, right, Kayla? I mean, there were some just phenomenal dancers in the room that were pushing through some really difficult choreography. Oh, so Randy said it was a huge challenge, but you did it the dang on thing. Like, I was so impressed. So impressed. Go ahead, Kayla.
Yeah, no, I was very impressed. I thought it was so great. I wouldn't have known, honestly, if we hadn't met her before. She was really picking up the choreography, and that was so cool to see. And yeah, it just like goes to show that dance can be like, such a widespread thing for people in all different age categories, disabilities aside, races, all the things. Like, it was just so cool to see everyone unite in that way.
And be supported in their learning styles too, for sure.
Yeah, and I had to say, like, two of the girls that were there that were assisting were like 13, 14, and they were literally murdering the pieces. Like, it was so good. So it was definitely like really, really impressive to see them with like pro. They fit right in.
That is just something that I wish we can kind of emphasize too, because like in watching the videos back, they didn't have like, they had a Choreography Pros like clothing on, but I was just like, what team is that? I kept thinking, what team is that? Like thinking it's a pro team because they were just that good. Some of them looked like, a lot younger. So it was a little bit more obvious, but I can't wait to see how that talent develops over time. But I really just encourage people in terms of like options for training for auditions or going to things like this, because you'll get a lot of routines in choreography. It'll push you in the right direction, and just seeing the choreography and obviously the transitions and the kind of like the staging for the court and all that, and seeing how you'll kind of learn from the pros, dancing with the pros, like all of that kind of stuff all in one. And you're getting a lot of bang for your buck with all the routines that you're going to learn over the course of that weekend. So Brandy said, I have to learn how to adapt in the hearing world. Well, adapt you did, honey. And I just appreciate the choreographers that also like supported you in terms of just helping, give you that time to be able to hear the counts or see the counts, so that you can follow the mouthing. I'm probably terrible at how I'm describing it, but I just was so impressed by you. So any hoodles. Where we were at Chuck, right? So shout out to Jasmine again for assisting. I don't think she was there as a vendor as well, and for next level prep. And I don't know if she was anticipating jumping in and dancing, but I was living Jasmine. Like, it was really cool watching. I love watching Jasmine perform. So it was a treat for me. And yeah, you did the ding on thing. And I don't know how you pulled that out, but I thought it was great. The next one that I have is, Anthony Maneri. I hope I'm saying your last name right.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Girl. So he was posted in our story. I'll let you go first on him.
Okay. First of all, this was insane. Like, we heard it. He has a very cool backstory, which was really, really fun to share or to learn. But I have to say, the first time that I noticed him was when he did his demo routine for one of them, and there was a little like shoulder action move. I don't know what to call it, but it was so good, and everyone kind of lost it. And I was like, okay, this guy is something else. Yeah, just as a performer, not even just as a choreographer, but like as a dancer himself. And then we saw that he was a choreographer. On top of that, he choreographed that routine, obviously. Right. But in general, like amazing. I think Doja Cat mix that he did was my favorite for sure.
Yeah, that was really good. And because, there were just so many assistants that were there, I get what you're saying too. Like you didn't necessarily know who the choreographers were. I mean, I should have stalked the website ahead of time, but it happens. But it caught me off guard too, because I thought he was a dancer demoing, not so much the choreographer. But he's from Southeast Connecticut. And he recently, I think it was kind of a little sneak attack, and I'm feeling the vibe, like, go get him. He recently won 2 national titles at NDA, the College and Dance Team Nationals, which I'm still trying to wrap all my brain around. Kayla's going to help me, but this is the national competition in Daytona, Florida. But Elon, I hope I'm saying that right, Elon University won the Division I hip hop, and I don't know if people saw that coming. And then Valdosta, girl, help me. There's too many damn colleges. But anyway, Valdosta State University was the D2 hip hop champion, and that was with his choreography. I heard he's coming up to the University of Washington. I hope that's not like spilling tea that it wasn't supposed to be out, but I'm excited to watch. It's out now. I'm excited to watch his work. Like the Doja Cat routine was super, super fun. And somebody's asking, hold on, let's catch up with the comments real quick. Somebody's asking how much does the camp cost? And I need somebody to answer that from Choreography Pros. I thought it was like $350-ish. If I'm not mistaken. I can quickly look because I'm on the website. But I think it's competitive and affordable.
That says $395.
Okay, there we go. $395. A little off, but $395. But you get videos to all of the dances, the counts, etc. One girl went on a 1-day pass, so I mean, I think there are options in terms of what you take, depending on your budget. Jasmine said she was not planning on dancing. Well, you could have fooled me. No, I'm just kidding. You looked great out there. It probably felt good though, just kind of busting it out. But that was some tough choreography. Let's see. And what else? Oh, Jasmine put it in the notes. Okay, is that where that came from? Anthony, we were just talking about you. So
love
good.
You.
We love you. Big hearts back. Okay, because I'm trying to be like, let's move, because I'm going to talk too much. The next one is Joya Qazi. I hope I'm saying your last name right. Dang, if I had more time, I would have just looked up everything in terms of pronunciation. But Joya is originally from the Bay Area as well. I love the Bay Area. I feel like there's such a vibe with personality. Like you could just now I'm going to start guessing. You must be from the Bay because you just, I don't know. I vibe with the people from the Bay Area big time. But she is a Bollywood choreographer. She is trained in 7 styles of Indian classical dance with over 20 years of experience. Had such a lovely conversation with her. Just kind of talking about how the NBA has embraced more of kind of the cultural themed nights and her ability to choreograph for NBA teams. And just, just how good that is to finally get some more diversity. I mean, you have Latin night, you have, just different themes, but I really would love to see more teams embrace Bollywood night. I think it's a beautiful way to show appreciation to your Indian fan base and just a very, very beautiful dance style. Kayla, are you still there? Mm-hmm. Oh, good. Okay. So she's got credits galore. I mean, working with Disney, DreamWorks. She did the Barack Obama inaugural ball as a choreographer. Yes, girl. And Germany's Next Top Model. But she's been in countless Bollywood movies. But her Bollywood routine was just beautiful to watch. I loved watching her teach that. And, because there's different, oh man, she told me, because I was like, it's not hand. There's a term for just the hand placements, right? And I think I called it hand. Yes. But I thought it was great. And Kayla, tell me if you agree. Just at the very beginning, before she even started her demo, she just kind of gave, not a speech, but just kind of sharing. So to kind of put people, I don't want to say at ease, but not to be intimidated about learning the style, and just, that she wanted to educate as she taught. And so I just think, opportunities like that to learn from really, really talented. I mean, she's one of the premier Bollywood choreographers and, you know, has the expertise. And just, I loved and watching her teach that class that everybody just showed the respect of wanting to learn. You know what I mean? Because I think sometimes if it doesn't come easy, sometimes people mentally check out or don't pay attention to details. But I think the way that she taught and the way that she kind of even led that conversation, it just put people in the right state of mind. And I loved that performance. That was one of my favorites too. What about you, Kayla?
Yeah, for sure. I love that performance. I think that she did a great job of kind of bringing it down to everyone's level a little bit, because I could see it being really intimidating, that you don't want to like step into a style that you're not super talented at or that you didn't have experience in, I guess. But we saw people from all backgrounds on all the teams join her to do her Bollywood routine. And she had said that it was like a little bit more westernized, and like she choreographed it specifically for the court, which I think is really cool. That she was able to have knowledge and like make it a game day routine that was Bollywood.
Yes, that was true to the style too, because I think we talked about that of like, you know, what point is it watered down to the point of it not being, you know, respectful of the art. And I think she, you know, she's found her balance, especially taking this choreography to the pro level of being at games. I don't want to say pro level, but just, you know, understanding the stage is a little different. But she's done a great job, I think, of, like you said, placing the choreography and making the motions big enough where people can appreciate it in a big old arena, right? But I loved chatting with her. I thought it was great. Great choreography again. I mean, I really hope that there's more, again, just like opportunities to appreciate other art forms and styles of dance just in general. So, I mean, if nothing else, just, I don't know how that's decided at the NBA level. I'd love to imagine an NFL game that has a Bollywood performance that might be pushing it. But shout out to the NBA, I guess, for like towing that line and allowing, you know, like Barbados night for the Brooklynettes and just, you know, bring in different styles. There's so many styles of dancing, and it's refreshing. On that note, I'm going to sip. The next choreographer is Anna of Boise. She actually had a pronunciation guide on the website, thank God. But Anna was so fun and such a vibe. She's a professional dancer, choreographer. She's hails from North Carolina. In Charlotte, she started the North Carolina Dance District. It's the first industry-style hip-hop dance studio for adults. She danced for the Charlotte Bobcats. This is what the name of the team was before they became the Hornets. She trains NBA and NFL hopefuls. She's been in commercials and a fitness model and worked with Sean T. Sean T made an appearance, y'all, to congratulate Miss B on 10 years, which I thought was dope. I forgot to mention that. But she did a couple hip hop routines I thought were very empowering for women. It was the way she taught. It was just like she just made you feel yourself. If I could have broke out of retirement, I would have wanted to take her class. What do you think, Kayla?
It was so fun. I loved it. All of her routines were so good. Yeah. And I just, music choice that she had too was like super, just like fun and, you know, hanging with your girls, but like on another level. It was great.
Exactly. And just fun routines that show, I like routines where it's all girls. I just kind of do. I mean, that's the girly girl in me, but just the vibe of like, the energy that she was giving off of wanting everybody to kind of claim that queen title and just show out. Like, I thought her choreography was very energizing in that way and just empowering. And the way that she teaches makes you just feel like, okay, I'm ready to go out and, you know, not do the routine in the club, but it was fun. I loved watching Kayla do that, from Kayla Chabri. And yeah, everybody looked like they were having a great time performing her routine. So the next one I have up is Danielle, right? Danielle Johnson. They call it Chocolate.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. She
was killing it.
Yes. I don't even know where to begin with her. Okay, she's a former Phoenix Suns dancer. She also danced for the Phoenix Mercury Hip Hop Squad. She was a captain for the AFL, Las Vegas Gladiators. She owns her own, it's called FIT Diversity Group Fitness Program. Okay, so let me just, okay. She's like in her early 40s. Her body is beyond banging. I've never stared at a woman's body that hard, but I was just like, she's so freaking fit and fabulous. Energy through the roof. She looks stunning. I think she does bikini and figure bodybuilding shows and competitions. She has 2 kids, 2 daughters. Like, she looks so bomb and just like, whoa, just inspiring just watching her. And then she's busting out like freaking toe touches. Her routines, I thought, in terms of complexity, these were palm routines. That was beyond an aerobic workout. I'll just say that. I don't even know how they got from the floor all the way up. I mean, so action packed. I mean, I just literally, that's what I put. But she's done choreography throughout the NBA, several teams, the AFL as well, the Arizona Rattlers. She was a lot. I mean, man, I was very energized watching her performances.
I loved it. There was one palm routine to be specific. It was like que calor. Like, I loved that routine. It was so cute.
The one where she busts out into the samba or whatever the hell that's called. Yeah. It was like, oh man, the 360 samba move. But it was so fast and so precise. Shout out to all the dancers that survived her class. I was just kind of like, good luck. But they did it.
Out a circle, and it was like so good. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So shout outs to, I won't say chocolate like I feel like family, but I'm trying not to use nicknames and act like I'm just in there like somewhere. But the next one is Wheezy. So Luis, you can matter of fact, you pronounce his name so I don't screw it up. Luis Wheezy Egrola? I don't know, girl. Help me out. Do you know how to pronounce it?
I don't know how to say it. I'm not gonna.
Was he your coach while you danced though, Kayla?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he was my when we were on the Solar Squad.
Yeah, so he was a coach, and he also danced for the Mercury Hip Hop Squad and the Phoenix Suns Solar Squad. He's also now the in-arena host, because I think now the Phoenix Suns Solar Squad is now kind of merged with the Phoenix Suns dancers to kind of, I don't know what their branding is. It's like Phoenix Suns Entertainment, but it's all one team now. Yeah, and they're having auditions this weekend. But anyway, he's choreographed for a lot of NBA teams, and it's been an instructor for a lot of different dance companies and studios. So he had some really fun hip hop routines. Just, cool partner work. And I just can't get over what a character he is. I feel like it was, I could see his inner arena hosting skills. Like, he just comedy, like just lots of inside jokes, but man, he had us dying laughing.
Yeah, he's super fun. He's a really fun person to be around. He definitely keeps the energy up. And I don't know how he has that much energy, because it never goes away, ever. Like, he's always on. But I think it's so but yeah, super fun guy.
Oh my gosh. And he comes in like, shades on, just like, he's a character. You will not miss him for 2 seconds. Like, such a big personality. It was super fun. Oh, somebody said I said it pretty good. I won't try to do it again. I'll just leave it at that. Pretty good means you didn't completely butcher it. Okay, so I really do want to get through all the choreographers, and I hope that you guys, again, follow these people if you are not following already. I think it's just good to, again, learn about our space and understanding that there are a lot of talented people that you could be learning from. So bear with me, but here we go. Michael Miles. Okay, so he is a choreographer as well. Over 21 years of dance and acting experience. I think he was like in West Side Story and whatnot. I was trying not to like say the whole bio again. Go to the website, but you'll see like this long, bio of all of their achievements and credits. But he did a jazz routine. He only did one, and I was just like, dang it. But to Janet Jackson, Pleasure Principle, and I lost my, when you do Janet, this was like just straight jazz, and the technique was all up in there. The personality was in there for Janet. I thought Destiny from the Detroit Pistons dancers like killed this routine. That was one of my favorites. Do you have notes on him? I was like, he's just like I feel like a secret weapon. Like, he just kind of came in. I'm going to just give you one routine, but it was so damn good. I wanted to see more.
It was great. It was very much so a secret weapon. I like that analogy. Yeah, for sure. And Destiny did kill it. It was very much lines and technique, which was nice, because we did get a lot off at Choreo Pros, I feel like.
Yeah.
They did a great job diversifying like the styles in general. There was, like we said, Bollywood, jazz, hip hop, palm, like all the things were.
We had a little bit of house in there too. I mean, we're going to get to it, but definitely the variety of styles
was great.
Yeah, he was one of my favorites too. Everybody kind of was, but okay. Next is Saza Kent. Saza and Wheezy started the Epic Dance Company. It's like Arizona's premier professional dance company. She is choreographed for different pro teams in NFL and NBA and WNBA, and just universities and different schools. She did a hip hop routine at Big Frida. Just fun. I mean, and again, the energy of everybody I just felt was just overwhelmingly positive and fun. Like everybody felt like they had fun. And from the choreographers more so than, not like more than the dancers, but I felt like they had fun with their own routines. Like you saw a lot of the choreographers just hyping up the people who were doing it during the showcase, and like even getting up and dancing with them during the showcase. And I loved her energy.
Yeah, for sure. She really great energy the entire time. She was so nice, even at the little mixer that was on Friday before everything began. Came up to us and started chit chatting, and was just like very warm, very approachable, super high energy. And then her choreography totally matched her personality, so that was so fun to see.
And that's just a good point. Like I loved how everybody's personality was on display. I think that was in my notes somewhere too. Just that I feel like you kind of, either from observing how they interacted with each other or how they taught class, how they interacted with the dancers, like you just felt like you got to know people. And again, I don't want to act like I'm just in there like that and part of the fam, but I did feel like you got a good flavor, like a flavor of who people were, what their style was, how they related to you. There was just a lot of one-on-one connection, I think, with the choreographers and the dancers. And I think that mixer just sets it off for that, where you can kind of connect and be like, I want to learn from that person. You know what I mean? Even before you strip down and get sweaty and start dancing, you just already have a sense for people. So I have Melissa Britt next. She did the jazz house mix. And I love, I mean, you know how like Break My Soul has just like brought house like it didn't exist before into the scene. But I like the way that she incorporated a little bit of house in her jazz number. I thought the mix was so cool. She has experience from the Phoenix Mercury Hip Hop Squad and the whole Solar Squad. Like everybody's connected in some way, so I don't have to mention all of their stats. But I really liked that routine, and it looked really good on you, Kinsey, from Denver Nugget Dancers. Like, I just liked watching people kind of shine, trying different things, and serving up their personality in these routines. So again, I wrote down Kinsey's name because I really enjoyed watching her in that piece. Do you remember that jazz number, that jazz house number?
So good, so good. I love that there was house and jazz. It's usually you do see house and hip hop routines.
Yeah,
but that was unique, so I thought that was cool.
Mm-hmm. Next, I have Bethan Mesa. Okay, another little pronunciation that I hope I got right. Also danced for the Phoenix Suns and the Mercury. Also had danced for the Golden State Warriors at one point. She's the co-director of Suns. What is it called? Sundance Kids. So they must have like a kids entertainment team for the NBA. But she's the one that was pregnant, right?
Yes.
She killed it. So she's expecting. She looked beautiful. She felt good. And she demoed her routines, and I thought just like stole the show. So sweet. And huh?
That's how full out she was dancing. Like, no joke. She was kicking, and her kick said to the face. Like, it was nothing.
Yes, absolutely killing it. And I just thought it was interesting because, okay, so we've been in the desert, or I've been in the desert 2 weekends now. And, you know, God bless everybody that got through. I mean, they gave a lot of warnings around like the dry heat and how it'll just make you so dehydrated without even doing anything. People were having cramps left and right. It was a lot. She was like the banana girl. Like she went to the store and got bananas for everybody. Such a mom, but yeah. And didn't you like too the family vibe? You know, different people had their kids there. It just felt really just kind of at home, and I just loved her personality. She was just taking care of everybody, making sure people had bananas and weren't cramping up a storm. And yeah, you guys did really good, like managing in that heat and that desert vibe. It was a lot, but they warned you, keep drinking water, keep drinking water. I know we drank water from the sink in the middle of the night because it was just kind of like you felt like you had a fur ball in your throat. But anyway, super fun routine. She gave us one. We also had KT. Well, okay, so Kirsten Willis, she goes by KT. Um, Such a talented dancer. Holy cow. Danced for the hip hop squad for the Phoenix Mercury and as well as the Phoenix Suns. She teaches at several dance studios, youth ministries, and after school programs. The other co director for the Sun Dance Kids. Gosh, there's so many suns and Mercuries and solars and whatnot. I'm probably going to screw them all up at some point. But I love how Miss V kind of spoke to just her passion for working with kids. Again, I'm kind of inspired by just that investment of time to make the arts more accessible to people of color and just and affordable and all of those things, and making those connections in a mentoring relationship are just so key. And she brought her assistants, Shayla, Jenly, Jada, and Carla, who were just all of them were so freaking talented. I just was blown away. Dang, I can't wait to see them on a pro team. Like, I don't know what their plans are. They could do whatever the hell they want. They can write their dance ticket. I feel like I just was so, I love that she's pouring into these kids. Not want to say kids, some of them were grown, but pouring into the youth, helping develop and train dancers. And one of the things that I think was just very apparent, and everybody spoke to this, Kayla, like just that it kind of started with Miss V. Like, they're modeling Miss V's mentorship and leadership in their lives and the impact that she's made on them. And you see everybody kind of following suit with the assistants that they brought. I just thought it was a very, very beautiful pipeline that was forming, and everybody kind of like, assisting so that they can eventually hopefully become a pro as one of the choreography pros that are teaching at the convention. But hearing the stories of how people started and now they're choreographing, it was just really inspirational. And she did a hip hop routine as well. There were so many videos. I don't want to even like attribute the songs. I thought it was the Diddy mix to like Hello. Am I freaking wrong, Kayla? You probably know better.
Right.
That's right. Oh, I couldn't tell if that was Miss V or her, but anyway, like it was just she danced and she's up in here. You can correct us. I'm so sorry if I got it wrong. But I was more caught up in like you were performing with the different classes. Like, again, as a dancer, you were phenomenal to watch. So if I got your routine wrong, I'm so sorry. But like you said, go ahead.
You're right.
All right. Yay. I'm trying to get it together. But yes, I mean, I don't know if you had other thoughts. I just was impressed, like I said, by the performance quality of all of her dancers and assistants that came. I love that picture that we caught of them taking a picture in front of the Choreography Pros sign, because they were my standouts.
It's so cute. And also, she was so phenomenal. She was really kind. Again, she came up to us at the mixer and was so cute. She was like, hey, I'm here to mix and mingle. And we were like chit-chatting. So it was so nice to like get to know her. And then when we saw her dance, I was like, well, dang, girl. Like, she came up with a choreographer, but then she started dancing and I was like, you could like be on a pro team right now. Like,
yeah.
Got it. It was great.
The one thing that I'm so curious about, because again, this is, I don't want to say like regional, but because of all the ties to the Arizona area, and I know that Phoenix Suns have like combined into Phoenix Suns Entertainment, but I just hope that all these talented dancers that are from this area, like this is the world of like virtual auditions, like move around to different teams. Like I want to see some of these dancers. I mean, some are from LA, all over, but I want to see you guys on pro teams. I'm just going to say that. I was just, again, blown away, and just like the freedom of movement. Like I had asterisks. I mean, they were all so good, but you remember I was like, who is my ponytail girl? I think it was Shayla. Shit, she's so damn good. But just like, man, that freedom of movement and just kind of letting go. Like, I know that like pro kind of has like a certain, how do I want to say it? Like there's like that clean that everybody goes through when you're on a pro team, because you get to express yourself, but it's also like to be uniform with the team. But it was kind of like freeing to watch everybody just dance in their own style and own element. That was just like the uncut version, you know what I mean? Because you are learning these routines and like a shorter period of time, and you are kicking them out in a showcase right after. So there isn't like this cleaning session and blah, blah, blah. But I just thought I loved watching everybody in their element, just killing routines. So this last week that I have, I mean, there's again, I was like, is this too much? But I'm here for it. But and y'all are here for it, so I appreciate you. So maybe I like lightened up a little bit on the bios. But the next person I have is Angel Casto. Did this palm routine to break my soul. So real quick. So, KT says, thank y'all. You're the sweetest and appreciate you guys taking the time to share about CP. Yes, I couldn't wait to talk about it. Like if I could have gone live as soon as I got back, I would have, but I would have been all over the map. Oh, and I probably am tonight, but whatever. But Angel Casto, go ahead. What did you say?
When I was like, do you want to do it tonight before we even left? You were like, I was like, what time's your flight? Like, let's do it now.
I know.
I was so excited.
Well, we could have done like a daily download, but even though we weren't dancing, we were exhausted. There was no excuse for it. We didn't move an inch, but I wanted to do it justice. And again, just introducing for people who don't know, a lot of the choreographers have taken our time with it. So again, thank you for tuning into this. So the last, like I said, set of choreographers, definitely not least, it's Angel Casto. He did the Break My Soul palm routine. And this was like day one, routine one. And I remember thinking, okay, I mean, like shit, it was so, excuse my French, but it was so fast. And, I mean, I didn't really know completely what to expect, but I just feel like his routine was like the first demo or something, or one of the first few demos. But yeah, taught that routine, like just hammering it in, and got my attention from the gate. So he has obviously the background with the Mercury Hip Hop Squad and the Solar Squad as well. He's a professional choreographer in Arizona, leading dance companies. And so his palm routine was serious business. Like it was really, really good. And everybody looked really clean doing it. And I think the take on Break My Soul, it was, again, the mixes to me can kind of like either like give it the or, just be like, meh. But I like the mix. It was just a very high energetic routine, and one to watch for sure. What did you think, Kayla?
Yeah, it was one of my favorite palm routines for sure. I really liked that one. And I think that it was so clean because he was like he coached very well when he was teaching it. Yes. To like almost the point where you didn't have to clean it as much after, because he was very specific about timing and where he wanted things and how he wanted it. So it looked good by showcase time. You could tell the dancers were confident with the choreography, which was really
great observation. Yeah, he was definitely all of that, just like very demanding and kind of like, you got this, but the way he drilled it in, I mean, it was very, 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 very clean. So yeah, that was only one from him, but Angel, it was great. I reposted it in my story so you can take a look at a snippet. Okay, Ayana or Ayana. I'm sorry if huh? Is it I or A?
I think so, yeah.
Ayana? Okay. Ayana Conway. She did the hip hop routine to like tap in, right? Obviously the same kind of background with the areas, the teams in Phoenix. She teaches hip hop, and jazz funk in the area. Kind of went through the Choreography Pros ranks as well. I kind of wanted to see more from her too.
She's a beast. I love her.
Yeah.
Like I've seen her choreography a lot, and I follow her like choreography page. She posts a ton that she does with her kids. The two kids that came that were like 13-ish that were so talented. Yeah, she teaches at like a studio, I think, with a lot of that age group.
Wow.
But they were insane. And I was like, whatever you're feeding, teaching, doing to these children, like give me some of that, because they were so good.
Wow. Well, shout out to everybody working with these kids. This is like the next generation of dancers. I do think, again, access is a big thing for people who can't afford to be in studios. And, I just think people who are pouring into our youth just deserve all the kudos and praise. So just commend that work. It's important work. And again, just seeing everybody getting opportunities, it's just, you look out, you kind of pay it forward, right? And that's what it looks like everybody's doing. That's part of Choreography Pros. The next person I have is Ashley Palma. She did a pom routine, and she's also like an assistant coach slash choreographer for the Sundance kids. Also dance on the hip hop teams. A very fun and challenging pom routine as well. Again, like I don't want mean to sound repetitive, but every single person that we had just had a different take, a different flavor, a different spin. Um, so it's just such a wide variety. I don't know if you had notes on her, but um, I just now we need to go through our footage, Kayla, and just like put it out so people can see what we're talking about. I think that's probably next up, right?
Yeah, for sure. We need to do a little highlight reel of like all the ones that we're talking about,
exactly.
so they can put it together. Like, and check out the highlights from the weekend in the story, and there are a lot of snippets of them, and I did tag most of the choreographers so you can kind of tell which one is which.
Exactly. And so Tina Carlton, I think she was the one that was rear-ended, unfortunately. Hope that she's okay. She wasn't. Is that right, Kayla? That was the one that, or she was the one that. Yeah. But she was part of the Phoenix Suns dance team and the AFL Las Vegas Gladiators. She worked for Coyote Ugly. You know, the theme bars, like the famous movie, blah, blah, blah. So she danced in the movie. I thought that was really cool. And also Danielle, I think, has a little bit of an association with Coyote Ugly, which I thought was super. I mean, everybody knows that movie, right? Am I not the only one who's watched that movie?
I don't know.
You don't know? You don't know what I'm talking about, Kayla? Are you serious?
No.
OMG. Okay. All right, that's fine. But might be telling my age. But it's like a whole like Western themed cute cowgirl like vibe, like a movie about. I haven't seen it in hella, but the point is, it was just they had like themed bars from that movie, and maybe the movie was based on the theme bar. But anyway, that's your homework assignment, Kayla. You got to watch that movie. But Tina did a jazz routine. People were, had demoed her piece, and again, like I don't mean to have like the last few people not saying as much, but it's just I want to be able to post and be, show you guys like what we're talking about. But again, just a really great jazz number. And the last two, it's Hush and Zoom. So there's Terrence Hush Eddings and Zoom Chase. Oh wait, Chase Zoom Bell. Sorry, but they're both hip hop dancers. They did a really cool hip hop routine with lots of visuals. I thought it was Kimmy, right, from the Denver Nuggets dancers that like killed that routine. I think she's a really really strong hip hop performer, or hip hop dancer, I should say. Zoom is actually part of the Harlem Globetrotters entertainment team, which I thought was pretty cool. But it was like I thought that their routine was like not truer to hip hop, but just like a real hip hop number. What did you think? Because you've been on hip hop dance teams.
Yes, yeah, I totally agree. I was really impressed with their hip hop. I thought it was definitely a little more advanced. So I think some of the girls had said that like we couldn't do it, but like she could do it. Like the other Denver Nuggets girls had said that some of their other team members might not be able to handle that, but like she was really good at hip hop, so she could handle it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like a more advanced routine, but I was really impressed with the visuals. I loved there was one part where like half the group did like this little like running. I don't know, like running.
Yeah.
I was like push them. It was cool. But yeah, I really appreciated just like them putting their spin on it, and I would love to see it if there was a team that could like
pull that off.
Yeah, I would love to see that. And I think an arena would be really impressed with that level.
Exactly, because you're watching from like up here to be able to kind of see the floor work that they were doing. I mean, this is again just like as teams move. Kayla was just part of my hip hop routine that's coming up next week, called Hip Hop Parade. Thank you, Kayla, for the song title. But we had a great panel with Fee, who danced for the Seahawks dancers, and Matt, who was part of the Golden State Warriors Blue Crew. A great conversation about hip hop dance teams, and the direction that teams are going in terms of having more hip hop. And it was such a great discussion. I cannot wait for that episode to drop. But I just think as teams move more in the hip hop direction, I do hope that it was brought up in the episode, but just like see what choreographers are out there that really truly embody the style and the culture, and bring them in, you know what I mean? So that you kind of nail it a little harder or more authentic, in a more authentic way. You can still have hip hop in its truest form and still have it be like court ready or like performed on a football field in a way that's like visually pleasing and kind of doing all the things that we expect pro routines to do. So again, these choreographers, I mean, we went through all of them. Probably, I mean, again, I was trying not to like just be hella intense, but we're gonna switch gears and move to like our favorite shout outs before I talk for 2 hours. It's already 2 hours. You guys ready? So I want to shout out every single, because this is a pro cheerleading podcast. We're gonna talk about pros, but shout out to all the college dancers that were there, because you guys brought that energy. You were, I mean, just hungry to learn. I loved feeling that people were really just trying to learn from everybody around them. But I'm going to focus now on our pro dance teams right now. The Denver Nuggets dancers and the Detroit Pistons dancers. So you had from Denver, Kinsey. She's a fourth year. I'm adding the year from what's on the website because I don't think it's been updated yet. I hope that's right. Kimmy, second year. Julia, who's in her fifth year, and Alexa, who's her second year. I just thought you guys, I love that you guys kind of stretched yourselves in terms of the types of classes that you took, even if that was your strong suit. I just saw people trying different things, and it was just a great vibe with you guys. Like, I was excited what I saw last weekend, and just seeing another big segment of the team here. I'm excited to come down to Denver and watch you guys dance. I was really impressed overall. And if I had to pick one, and this is really dang on hard, but like, again, kind of the standout performer for me. Like, I try to call people out in different routines, but damn it, I got to give it to Alexa. She looked amazing in all the styles. Like, she kind of like from the gate, she did a dip at the end of Anna's routine, I think. Like, just completely caught my behind off guard. I was not expecting that, like, to end the routine. I thought she looked amazing doing Joya's Bollywood routine. And Palm and Jazz as well. Like, you just really seem to master all of the styles of the dances that you took. I liked I liked everybody, but if I'm going to just like pick one, if I had to, gun to my head again, I would give it to Alexa. I'm not going to put you on the spot, Kayla, unless you felt prepared to shout out who you had your eye on all weekend from the Nuggets dancers.
I couldn't. You can't take your eyes off her when she dances. Alexa was definitely my standout for that team too. Yeah.
Oh, and we did not compare notes. Okay.
Well,
no. I'll let you say yours first for Detroit, so that we can prove that we're not copying. But the Detroit Pistons dancers, I'm just going to mention them by name. Destiny, Delisha. I hope I'm saying your name right. It's either Delisha or Delisha. I'm sorry I don't have your years on the team. Marissa, I do know as a captain, and Miranda. You guys, again, I just felt like you guys set it off with that Detroit hustle that you guys were showing off. You guys were just really kind of like this like chill, very, very not intimidating vibe at all. But you were such dope dancers. I could tell everybody's kind of like feeding off of you and looking to you for guidance. I think you guys just kind of like nailed, maybe just being familiar with the choreographers. I know that you guys go pretty often to this convention, but you just nailed the styles. I really thought you guys were super strong performers, and I guess I'm going to Detroit too. I got to learn these routines first, these hustles before I go, so that I can go out and enjoy. You guys were just so cute with just, I don't know. I liked you guys a lot. What did you think, Kayla? I'll let you go, and then you mention who was your standout performer from that team.
Okay, yeah, I definitely loved them. They were so fun. Their coach, Natalie, was also like so fun. They were very welcoming and so sweet. And also, yeah, they just were great leaders in the space. Like, I noticed that for a lot of the college girls, like, seemed to be really looking to them, following them. And even not college pro teams that were there as well, they instantly took the lead if they were like place where they needed to be, and they were picking up the choreography. And it seemed to kind of like pull the rest of the piece together as well with their leadership. So that was really cool to see.
And like a quiet leadership, right? Like, not like,
oh yeah,
I have arrived and look at me. It just was a very not subtle in the cut, kind of like just a great leadership quality. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, for sure. And I think Marissa, she's the captain. Yeah, she was my standout for that team for sure. First of all, hair, like, she got the blonde curly hair.
Her hair is everything.
But yeah, she was really good. She was killed every style, and she's a great performer overall. So I enjoyed watching her.
Yeah. Well, my standout was Destiny. I just felt like my eyes gravitated towards her. She had a couple of moments with a couple of routines. The Janet one, she just stole the show. And also Miss V's Michael Jackson routine. Like, I just really enjoyed watching her perform. So she gets my standout from that team. Everybody again was really, really good. I think different people shine during different routines. And if I skipped over in my notes shouting you out as we were going through each choreographer, I'm so sorry. But you guys, again, when you see these conventions and you see the pros amongst college dancers or, independent dancers that are coming to these things, you guys are role models and people are looking up to you. And I just feel proud when I kind of see how everybody handles that and is inviting and not that kind of like I'm a pro arrogance. You know what I mean? Like it's just you guys are everything that you would expect from a professional. But seeing you be such a great example to everybody was just a great learning environment. And I just again encourage people who are wanting that kind of training or different experiences, to consider Choreography Pros as an option of learning this choreography because again, the rigor of the routines, the talent of the choreographers, the talent of people around you, I think you'll just grow. Like everybody who was there, I feel like, I mean, you survived an incredibly challenging 4 routines a day kind of convention, but you, I'm sure, grew in the process as well. And that growth is important as you're preparing to be on teams. And like Miss V said, it'll prepare you for any audition that you would go to. The last little shout outs, I guess. Did you have something to add?
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, I love that even though there were a lot of routines for everyone, they definitely got a great amount of value out of it. And I know that like we were talking to Denver Nuggets dancers, they had mentioned like, oh yeah, we're bringing back 32 routines from this weekend, and I was like, oh, like I didn't even do the math of the fact that they had 4 girls and each girl did 4 routines each day. So like when you do the math of all that, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so many routines. You have a 40-game season, and 32 of your routines are done in that one weekend. Like,
yeah, and a variety of styles too. So again, it's just probably making the director's jobs so much easier to get. Not everybody's probably have this unlimited budget of flying choreographers in individually, but damn, you get the bang for your buck at this convention for sure. And having access to all of the class footage, not class footage, but the counts and the routines is just it's a great value. The last little shout outs was just on the choreographers. I picked my favorite female and male and kind of like the choreographers to watch. Like I want to see more tag pro cheerleading podcasts so we can see more of your work. Like I can't wait till next year to see what you come up with, kind of a thing. So do you want to go first?
Oh, you can
go. Okay. So for gosh, this is hard. Now I'm like feeling pressure. I was gonna let you go first. So I kind of had to give it to Miss V. For my female choreographer. I just thought her just the vision. Like I kind of felt like I saw what she was going for in terms of like music choice, formations, like the choreography itself. I mean, she just kind of had my full attention for her routines. Like not a dull moment. I'm like laser focused. And I like the way that her choreography brought me in that way. For the male choreographers, I mean, for me, I'm sorry because I have been a fan for a very, very, very long time. I had to give it to Cisco. I just did. I enjoyed so many different. I mean, seeing Chuck and being able to meet you for the first time, Chuck, was freaking phenomenal. And seeing your teaching style, I just felt really lucky. So it was really, really neck and neck between you two. Cisco, I just feel like, and I think I said this to him when I first met him. Good Lord, probably embarrassing, but I just love his song selection for his heels choreography. Like he ends up picking songs that are like my favorite songs that weren't like what was played on, not the main hits and singles from some of these artists, but he just really, his musicality, finding out that he used to be a professional singer before he even fell in love with dance, I was kind of like blown away. But I think just meeting him and him being as open and friendly as he was, it just kind of blew me away. So, and seeing him do hip hop the way that he did, I also was kind of like feeling it. So I already knew his heels choreography was going to be great. Seeing him do hip hop as well, I just kind of, he gets my vote. And then on my one choreographers to like watch or people that I want to see more from, Michael Miles, Anthony, what the hell, Maneri, sorry, I couldn't read my own handwriting, and Anna Boise. The end. I definitely, like eyes glued, want to see what more you come up with. And again, for all of the choreographers, I want to see more of your work on these pro teams. Um, I just can't wait to share more of the choreography bits and pieces so people can kind of get a flavor for it. But those are my three to watch. I really do think I could list everybody as like, that were newer to me. I didn't know as much about them, but now that I've seen it, most importantly, read the bios, like these are very, very talented choreographers that I would love to see on more teams. Everybody says, somebody says they were all awesome. They were all awesome, every single one of them. It is so hard to pick shout outs, but damn it, you have to have something to hook people in. What are yours, Kayla?
I think for my female choreographer, Danielle Johnson, or they call her Chocolate. She was fantastic. She did a lot of really high energy palm routines that I thought were super impressive. And I love that sometimes I feel like with technical, I shouldn't say technical because we talked about this the other day, with like palm jazz styles, it's easy for them to start off on a high and then kind of trickle out and then maybe like end on a bang.
Yeah.
And so her routines had me the whole time. I was like, oh, we're still going. Oh, we're killing it. Oh, and then when you thought it was over, there's a kick line. Like something comes in. So yeah, I really appreciated her style, her energy. I think she like killed it. She was very in it. Even as she was teaching it, she was like full out with her own kicks, toe touches, doing all the things. I was like, girl, making these dances. Yeah, like just work for it. So I loved her, and I thought her routines were great. And then for my male choreographer, I chose Anthony Maneri. I thought he was so good. Oh, we already talked about how obsessed we are with him, but just his choreography, his musicality, just like as a dancer in general, like just all the things. I was like, bang.
The I can't wait to see. Pocket was like just I was like, come on.
Go watch his routine, please. The link you posted, you'll get it. You'll get it as soon as you see it. Oh,
exactly. So good.
The Doja Cat mix was so good. And then for like people that I want to see more of, I also put Anna Boise. She was like so good, and I loved her routines as well. So that was my favorite.
Okay. I think we did our recap. I mean, I wish again that the little recap video, real business, could be up right away so you could see it. But traveling and woo, like it's gonna be up there. Check out Choreography Pros. Make sure you're following the page. I'm sure they're also going through their content, and we'll be posting a lot more as well. Little snippets of the routines. Just shout out to everybody who was in attendance. Like I felt the bonding happen. People were high-fiving each other and just supporting one another so much over the course of the weekend. And I just felt really lucky to be there. Kayla, thank you for all your hard work over the weekend and just all of the side conversations and moments with different choreographers and dancers. I cherish those moments more than anything, and it's just a pleasure to meet everybody in person. And I hope to be back next year. Tag us in anything that you post in the future throughout the season as you're working with other teams. I would love to just follow your work. Everybody's so freaking talented. Thank you to Miss V again for having us, and we hope to see you next year. What else we got?
Yeah.
Like I said, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say thank you for having me. Thank you for letting me go with you. That was so fun to get to be at Choreography Pros. And yeah, I'm excited to hopefully go next year too.
Exactly. And today we launched an episode. It is an interview with Geraldine. It's called Sunshine. I think you'll understand why as you listen to the episode. She's just such a ray of light, so positive, and just sharing her journey of auditioning and kind of like not giving up. We all know it's audition season, and I just want to encourage you to listen to the episode. You'll learn a little bit more about the NHL Game Day Entertainment in Vegas. They like won the entertainment team of the year for the NHL. So their game day sounds like another stop on my tour. I want to see what that's like because it's just so much going on. But it was a great conversation. There's 2 more episodes left. Like I said, next week it'll be the hip hop group panel interview with Kayla was a part of. She was a co-host with me, and it's a great conversation, kind of building on what we've already been kind of talking about in the story of hip hop and pro cheer and dance, and kind of where teams are going, and lots of things to consider as teams are forming that are focusing on hip hop. Please listen and share. I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments. Shout out Geraldine. Listen to the episode. Let me know any other last topics for Cheer Chat. I do have a lot of DMs that I'm with people suggesting topics, and I promise next week's Cheer Chat will get into all of that. And just kind of doing like a little bit of a catch up on NBA auditions. Let me know anything that I missed and things that you guys want to talk about, but I will let you guys have the rest of your Wednesday night. Thank you for listening. Go follow all these amazing choreographers. It was so much fun. I miss everybody already. I don't miss the desert heat, but excuse me. But I had a great time. Wonderful time. You guys have a wonderful night. Thank you, Kayla, for joining me. It's fun to do a recap when you're talking to somebody and not completely trying to follow a bunch of comments. But thanks for everybody in the comments, and thanks in YouTube land for joining, Kim. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye.
Bye.